First, Somalia's President, Mohamed Abdullahi Farmaajo, has promised to take on militant group Al-Shabaab, giving himself a 2-year deadline to defeat the Islamists. Well, he sat down for an interview with the BBC to talk about his first 12 months in the office and to set out his plans for the future, describing good progress despite growing challenges. Mr. Farmaajo spoke to my colleague Ferdinand Omondi, who asked him about mounting militant attacks, the use of US drone strikes and a harrowing bus attack last year that killed more than 500 people.
It was really unfortunate, and that basically shows the cowardness, the cowardly act by Al-Shabaab to attack and destroy human lives as well as properties. But that given us strength to get ready for it, to reorganize, to do everything in our power to be ready and to face Al-Shabaab. So everybody knows that we are really serious about it, and usually the first year always take a planning, and then now we believe we're ready in terms of everything we need to fight back against Al-Shabaab.
You also spoken about the increased airstrikes, especially by allies like the US. And while this is targeted at the enemy, there are concerns that some of these missiles have hit civilians and killed and also have collateral damage where they have been targeting. How are you addressing these concerns, especially from the civilians?
Well, I believe that we're fighting with an enemy that is not fighting in a conventional way. They basically doing guerrilla warfare, and they basically hide sometimes in the population areas. I know that for sure that the United States is doing everything its power to make sure that the civilians will not be targeted and harmed, and I believe they succeeded.
But in the case where these civilians are harmed, are you not concerned that this could further help radicalize these people who should, depending on, to turn against Al-Shabaab in order to help you win that war?
It's really unfortunate to see that civilians get hurt in this type of attacks, yes. But also, I know that for sure, they're doing everything in their power to avoid harming the civilians.
There are thousands of United African Union forces here helping you, keeping the country secure. One of them is your neighbors, Kenya, who are building a wall between you and Somalia, and according to the Kenya government, that is to prevent Somali-based militants from crossing over into Kenya and wreaking havoc on the other side. How does that make you feel about the wall?
Well, as per our discussion with the President, Uhuru, in my state visit last year, we discussed this issue, and we agreed on that there must be a free trade, people move back and forth, as well as trade. So even in his speech, he said that he wants to open up the border for people to cross, and as well as commerce and trade.
That was Ferdinand Omondi speaking to the President of Somalia, Mr. Farmaajo.